Hello, lovely ladies, and witches and shamans alike. I'm Casey. I am the founder of the Goddess Coven, and this was supposed to be live, but Instagram has said my account is not eligible to go live yet. I will fix that, but I don't want to delay. I don't want to delay this moment because right now we are in a really big portal. We have the new moon in Scorpio, and wow, I don't know how all of y'all have been feeling through eclipse season, but for me, it kicked me in the ass and I let it, right? Sometimes it's best to just let it all burn, right? And I think ultimately, like, it's a good thing. Everything that comes from this feels like it'll be a good thing. This is my cat, Artemis. She's being needy. Yeah, and I have had the experience of getting to work more deeply with a lot of great goddesses, especially great mother goddesses right now, including the great mother Isis. And she is so loving and so powerful and true, right? She is in her truth. And today, the intention of this video and this time is to, manifest the matriarchy is what I'm calling it. But, that doesn't just start with this election, right? That has been happening for a long time, and we are kind of entering this culminative period where, Pluto is moving out of Capricorn finally. Those old structures falling away, making room for new, for the collective, for the feminine, right? Those feminine aspects of ourselves. And we've had so much dark goddess energy right now. Lilith, Persephone, Hecate, Kali, all have been involved in this eclipse season. And Medusa, let's not forget Medusa. And Eris was involved. And Pluto, our dark masculine, but in a good way, not in a shadow masculine, the light dark masculine, has really been asking us a lot. We've had moments with Mercury, we've had moments with Uranus, we've had moments with all of it, right? And Saturn right now, in Pisces, just supporting this process. Yeah. And so this new moon, I really wanted to take the opportunity to dedicate to manifesting this new world that we all get to create together. And that new world gets to be a place where the feminine parts of ourselves, those intuitive parts, they have equal opportunity and say to all the other parts. And it also gets to be a place where we get to see that reflected in our culture, our systems, our institutions, right? In my work as a healer, I encounter a lot of people that are struggling in systems, right? The systems that are essentially just designed for us to fail, right? To continue suppressing the feminine, the parts of us that give, the parts of us that care. And right now our bodies, right? Our bodies are on the line as women. This election is part of that. And so I encourage you, if you haven't already, get out there and vote. But today is about more than that. Today is about claiming those parts of yourself that have maybe lived in the shadow, those feminine, softer parts of yourself, claiming your lover aspects, right? Can we have love and power? I have been working on this in myself, and it's big, right? That wound, it's ancestral, right? It's not just ours. It's not here and now. It's our ancestors and our ancestors' ancestors, and it's intergenerational, and it's past life. How many past life and ancestral and intergenerational wounds do you have around believing that you cannot be feminine and powerful? That you cannot claim your witch wound and be attractive, right? That you cannot be a healer and say no, right? Like the power to say no to what energy enters your system. Do we need to give all that we are in order to love? Or can we find balance, right? Can we find balance? And can we ask the masculine to step up to the plate, right? It's time. It's time. It's time for us to step into our sovereignty as queens, as goddesses, as witches and shamans and healers and light workers. It's time for the masculine, the light masculine, to shed its skin too. And let go of old paradigms. And by shedding our skin, we're asking them to meet us. We are asking the men in the world to step up, to do the work, right? So, matriarchy. What is matriarchy anyways? Matriarchy, in my opinion, and feminism is not about power over, right? It's about power with. And the idea here is not for the feminine to overtake the masculine. We need both in ourselves. We need both. They are balancing, right? The deeper we can hold our masculine energies, the deeper we can hold our feminine energies, and vice versa. The problem is that we're so lacking. So many of us have root chakra deficiencies for this reason, right? We are so lacking in feminine energy, in Mother Earth connection. And Gaia is a huge part of this, right? Gaia is a huge part of this. Climate, right? If we were centered in our hearts, climate change would not be an issue. If society was centered in its heart, if it was centered in the mother, if it was centered in the earth, we wouldn't even need to think about that, right? It would just be so clear, so obvious. This is a beautiful world, a beautiful land that we live on. And just a shout out, I'm in Colorado, and this is not my native land. I am on Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute land right now, so just a shout out to that. No matter where we are, right, like the connection to the land is the connection to mother, is the connection to the feminine. So matriarchy is about claiming all that back. Matriarchy, what we're manifesting today, is about summoning great, deep love. It's about summoning mother energy into being in power, because mother energy wants to be in power with, right? Not over. And and that starts with this election, but it doesn't end there, right? I think it can be easy to fall into the doomsday of this election is going to determine our fate, but this is happening either way, right? It's just how much growing pain, and we've already been through a lot, right? I'm a millennial, so we know the tropes about millennials and how our entire lives have been one thing after another. And I believe that a lot of us as light workers decided to incarnate during this time for that reason, to give ourselves those trials and tribulations so that we can step into our full power right now in this moment. So that said, I want to start by clearing. And just clearing the space a little. I have my little altar set up in front of me. I don't know that you can see all of it. Again, I will work on that in the future. I want I'm going to burn a little Palo Santo just to clear the space. And inviting you to take this moment to clear your own space, clear your energetic field, connect with your ancestors. Thank you. Thank you, Earth Mother, for this gift of wood. All right. Next, I want to open circle. And for those of you who are Coven members, you have access to all of our rituals and our ritual library. So some of you may have already read that and found your own way of opening circles. If not, my ancestry in this lifetime is Celtic, and I do not identify as pagan. However, I do call all 5 elements in order to open circles. So I will do that now, and I invite you to open circle with me or however feels good for you. The first element I'd like to call is earth, and this here is a tiger's eye. Just taking a moment to ground and connect to the earth. Feel your body on the floor, your feet on the ground, on the earth, wherever you are. I call earth to this circle to ground and protect this space, our intentions, and all whom this video reaches. Next element is fire. We have a little tiny fire. Taking a moment to connect to fire. I have a candle lit in front of me. I don't know if you're able to see it on the video or not, but if you have flame around, literally you can connect to that. Or you can connect to the fire in your heart or in your 3rd chakra, your power center. Call fire to this circle to burn away the systems of old and all that does not serve this new era. To burn away residual thoughts of the patriarchy that hold us back from our true divine feminine empowerment. In myself, in all who watch this video, in all Coven members, in all witches, shamans, and healers who wish to receive this energy and this blessing. I ask for fire to burn away the systems of old in the world we live in, to cleanse and clear them, and to ignite the passion in our souls to create something new together. Next, I will call water to the circle. Sometimes I like to take a little sip of my tea or whatever beverage is around. I invite you to do the same, should you so choose. Feeling the water in every cell of your body. Finding a way to connect with the element of water. I call water to this circle and this ritual to cleanse, to wash away the ash of all that does not serve, to bring gentleness, to bring that soft mother energy, to aid in healing. Healing our hearts, healing the collective. And to aid in forgiveness. Let us not carry hate and fear into this new era. Next is air. Taking a moment to breathe. Feel the air on your skin, in your lungs, and your nose. Call air to this circle to fill us with life. Fill us with the rhythm and the breath of life. To blow away all that which is no longer serving us and humanity. And to blow in all the sweet scents of spring and newness and the Christmas of winter. All that does serve. To blow in the winds of change. Trusting that what comes is exactly what is meant to be. Last, I'd like to call spirit. I got a giant quartz for this one today. Pulled out the big guns. Usually I use a little amethyst. So for spirit, right? Spirit means something different to everyone, and that's okay. Maybe spirit to you is the oversoul, like Thoreau. Maybe it's the collective unconscious. Maybe it's your inner divine sovereign soul. Maybe it is all of that. Maybe it's your spiritual self that is connected to ancestry and lineage. Maybe it's your spirit self that's connected to land, right? What does spirit mean to you? Where do you feel spirit? call spirit to this circle to light the highest path, to reverberate our intentions throughout the world and the cosmos. Let me see. We're on video. Yeah, you don't have to clean your toenails right now. Reminding us we're human, right? Pets are great for that. I call spirit to the circle. And they have their little spirits too, right? Something else that I brought today that I made a few years ago at a death doula summit, and it was just a death summit, but it was during a time that I was doing a little bit of death doula work. This is a vertebrae that someone found on the land and had invited us to paint with natural paints. And I had created a little snake. There are some flowers, and the other side has the tree. And for me, even though it's a vertebrae, there's always been something about this that feels so pelvic. And that pelvic region, that is huge right now. That is where we're holding all this ancestral wounding and our own wounding, right? As women or people with uteruses or trans women, however you identify with womanhood, the pelvis holds a lot. Holds a lot in men too, but I think those of us that are connected to our feminine energies, whether you have a womb or not, right? It sits there in the pelvis, and in this lifetime, many of us have experienced rape, and I don't know if this video is going to get taken down because I said that. I'll try to put it on YouTube. But many of us have experienced, sexual trauma. And it is so hard to walk through this world as a woman without it, right? Let alone carrying the sexual trauma of our ancestors. And of our own past lives, right? Carrying a lot. And so honoring that sacred space right now, taking care of your pelvic floor, doing some good hip opening stretches, maybe some heating pads, right? If you have menstrual cycles, treating it like you're on your period, even if you're not. And if you are, extra self-care, right? And just like really leaning into that. If you're into yoni steaming, maybe now is a good time to do that, right? Whatever feels good in your body. Just noticing, like, what are you holding in your hips right now, as we move this big collective energy, and giving that some space to exist and be honored. Okay. Normally I call in lots of guides right now, and because this is the Goddess Coven, I wanted to bring in my Goddess deck. The one that I like to use the most, it's my favorite, it's called Goddess Power Oracle. And I just wanted to take a moment, shuffle these, see what comes up, right? We'll see what happens, what wants to arise. Who wants to come in and be here with us today? Oh, some people just flew out. Who flew out? Isis and Artemis. Of course they did. All right. So we have our beautiful goddess Isis, who we were just talking about earlier. Just want you to really be able to see this card. It's gorgeous. The word on this one is rebirth. Isis wants to be here with us today, and gosh, I'm thankful for that. I need her right now. The next card is Artemis, and in this deck she is Focus. Artemis, which is funny because my cat is named Artemis and she's been really in this video today. My dog Athena, on the other hand, sitting nearby but not in the video yet. We'll see if she comes in. Okay. Thank you, Isis. Thank you, Artemis. Does anyone else want to be here with us today as we move to summon and manifest the matriarchy? I also invite you to invite in your personal guides and goddesses and ancestors and any and all light beings who wish to assist, right? I will do that at the end of this little goddess deck shuffling, but yeah, calling in what feels right for you too, to support you in this process, right? It's always a good idea when manifesting to call on energies more than ourselves, right? If we just call on our own highest self and our own highest spirit, we can do it. We have the power. You have the power to manifest anything you want, really. It doesn't always like turn out the way you want, right? Because intention and what actually happens in reality are not always what we think, right? But yeah, but you have the power in yourself, right? That said, if you are just pulling from your own energy on something like this, especially something bigger, something collective, right? It can really just cause spell fatigue, which I do not want for any of you. Yeah, and it's not that you can't regenerate that energy. It just takes a minute. And so calling on something more than yourself can help prevent spell fatigue and burnout after doing a manifestation ritual. Plus, it gives you more opportunity to connect, right? Which is always beautiful. Okay, let's see. Mat, truth, the goddess of truth, wishes to come in. That feels real. Thank you, Mat. Gaia wishes to come in, which is great. Good, big, great mother energy. We need that. And Skuld is a Norse goddess. This one particularly says future for this card. I am not going to read the meanings of all these cards today. However, if there's one that you're particularly interested in, please feel free to comment, and I will send you a brief description of their messages. Yeah. Okay. Let's get going. So, thank you, Skuld. Thank you, Isis. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Artemis. Thank you, Mat, for wishing to be here with us today. I also call in any and all light beings, ancestors, angels, guides, goddesses, gods, animal spirits, past selves, highest selves, who have the highest good for ourselves and the collective in mind and wish to be here to assist today. All right. I make this offering of flower petals. I have flower petals in here today. to any and all beings who wish to assist today, and guides and angels. I make this offering of fresh flowers and water to our ancestors, to the women who've come before us, especially as this new moon falls so close to Samhain and the portal. I hope that in this ritual today and in the future to come, in the next 6 months to 20 years, right? Because that's how long this journey is. That you find healing, that our ancestors find healing, that the feminine finds healing. All right. Okay. So I am being drawn, picking our candles for candle magic. I don't know, maybe y'all want to guess what colors are gonna want to come through today, but I'm just gonna go where I feel drawn. Yeah. I am feeling drawn to blue candles today. And yeah, and I think pink. No, not pink. I think yellow. Not 100% sure why, but apparently we're going with blue and yellow. Sometimes you just go with it. And I had a feeling about yellow. Last night I was burning a yellow and a black candle in my dream. Yeah, but today is the new moon, and yesterday was about banishing, and today is about summoning. So we are in summoning time, and candle magic, again, on the Goddess Coven, in our membership, there is a whole section in our ritual library on candle magic, how to do it, what the different colors of candles mean, all of that. I will talk about these 2 particular colors today as we go through them. And I invite you to join the Goddess Coven right now. We are a new coven, we are newer, and so there is a founding discount, which is code 3FREE, all caps, the number 3, and then FREE. And that gets you your first 3 months free. And then after that, it is $22 every 3 months. So less than Netflix for sure. But also, if you divide 22 by 3, I am not good at math. It's like a little over 7, right? So it's like $7 a month. You could get a Starbucks latte for that price. And if cost is a major barrier, please just check out our Instagram, our Facebook page, and see what discounts are available, right? Right now we have that code for your first 3 months. And right now Persephone's workshop is up and live if you're interested in working with her. Okay, we'll see who wants to come in winter. Okay, so first up, candle magic. These particular candles need the wick trimmed. Just gonna do that real quick. And then the next step is to carve our intentions into the candles. And I think we're going with blue first. I'm feeling blue first, which makes sense because blue is healing. So blue candle magic is all about peace, emotional healing, tranquility, wisdom, intuition, spiritual insight, right? So it makes a lot of sense why this wants to come in right now. Associate blue candles with the element of water, that cleansing that which is old. So, yeah, I think that's my first word, is cleanse. I'm just gonna carve it in. I invite you to light your own candles if you wish during this manifestation ritual. See what calls you. See what words come up, right? The next one is going to be healing. And in this blue candle, I am also feeling this like Isis Gaia energy. Yeah, and a little bit of the future, a little bit of this like trusting our womb intuition in the future, right? So I'm gonna write that. Womb and mother. Trust. And intuition. And then I also really want to call in some moments of peace, right? Like we have been through a shit show, and I just said, a few minutes ago, like the next 6 months to 20 years. Yes, we are still healing. We are still in the journey. That does not mean that we don't get to have joy and peace right now. So let's call that in too. Let's call in some big moments of joy and peace, some collective pause, some feelings of being held, right? So I'm gonna write that. Joy and peace. See if anything else feels like it needs to go on this candle. I think softness. Those softer feminine aspects are feeling like they're part of this blue candle today. Softness. And just because we happened to pick blue and this just dawned on me, blue is Harris's color. I'm gonna write her name on here. And let's send her some love and support. She is doing some hard shit for us right now as women. I think maybe some of us watched Michelle's recent speeches, and like something that really resonated with me is the standard that we are holding Kamala to. And that resonates with the standard that we hold women to in this country, right? It's just different. It's just a different standard that we hold for women. And the time is up. We are women. We can do whatever. We can do anything. We are powerful, badass bitches, right? And it's time for men to step up. It's time for them to step up, find their kings, heal themselves, right? Do their work, and meet us, right? Meet us where we are. So calling that in with love and healing for them, right? Remembering that the systems that we live in, they harm men, right? They harm everyone. And sorry, my heart hurts over that a little. I think, well, I'm not going to apologize for my heart hurting. But yeah, like the systems that we live in, they oppress the light masculine just as much as they oppress all parts of the feminine, right? Because it's the shadow masculine. It's the shadow masculine that we are living under. It is not men in their whole selves. And so I think right now, by coming back into our true divine feminine, we are asking them to step into their true divine masculine, and honoring that that's a journey. That is a journey. Just as much as what we go through is a journey. It's a big ask. And yeah, so asking that with love in our hearts, right? Love in our hearts and healing compassion in our hearts. Okay. Let's see. The next step in candle magic is generally like oil. You don't have to use oil. I do. I like to anoint my candles with oil. I'm just doing that. And when I'm manifesting something in, I pull the oil down the candle, right? Versus if I were expelling, then I would put the oil in the opposite direction, like base to wick. So then you're expelling energy out. Right now we're pulling energy in. We're pulling energy from where the flame will be, down into the ground. Calling in all these energies for the collective, and all kinds of light beings who wish to assist. I am just getting the base of my candle a little firm so that I can set it. Wonderful. And then, yeah, feeling into if we should light this candle now or if we want to do the yellow one first. I think we can do this one's first, yeah. Okay, so if you have your own candles, I invite you to figure out if any of them are feeling called to be lit first. My recommendation is that anything that is healing, that is releasing, even though we're calling in, right? Like healing energy is inherently also releasing energy often. Anything that is softer and subtler, you light first. Okay. And so I'm just going to let that burn and take a moment to feel into those energies. Just noticing what you're feeling. If you can feel your crown chakra, perhaps visualizing the sensation of water, just a waterfall of light, blue, healing light, washing down over you. From the crown of the head, all the way down through your heart, all the way down to your tail. Just purifying and cleansing all that does not serve this new era. You are pure and you are divine. Feeling Isis in this. She feels very present today. Wonderful. Okay. Hi, Athena. Oh, little dog is coming to say hi. Hello. Okay, so yellow candle. Yellow candle, higher energy vibe. Not in a bad way. I don't know about you, but I have been feeling very depleted after this eclipse cycle. Yeah, and low energy. And so yellow, yeah, I think this is about calling in our power today. I think this is about calling in our energy, calling in our creative potential. Yeah. So yellow candles can symbolize joy. They can also be associated with like the mind and intellect, and in a communication sense, you could think about it as like kind of related to Mercury if you want. But also that like that creativity, that success, that creative spark that comes from joy. Yeah, it's this like on the nervous system level, yellow candles are the parasympathetic nervous system. They are the social nervous system. They are out there, they are thriving, they are doing life and feeling social and creative and joyous. And yeah, I think we need some of that. I'm trying to feel like, you know, this is feeling too like it might relate to Artemis and Mott, who came in around focus and truth, right? This communication, being creative and letting our creativity open us to truth in communication, and focus, bringing focus to joy, focus to what lights you up, focus to your power, right? Not being so afraid of our power. I have a wound that I know many of you probably also have, right? And this is also ancestral, and I've done a lot of work on healing it. The work is always in layers, as it always, you know, work comes in layers. But this wound is feeling called to be shared, and it's in this vulnerable moment around joy, right? Around this fear that if we let ourselves feel joy, if we let ourselves feel love, if we let ourselves feel hope and happiness, then it will be taken. And I don't know if that resonates with you. Let us know in the comments. But this wound is some serious ancestral shit, right? This is some serious, like, the idea that the universe is not on our side. When it is, the universe is very much on our sides. It's just trusting that. It is trusting that. And the more we trust that, the more it's true, right? That's the hard part. That is the hard part. The more we trust that we are allowed to feel joy, that we are allowed to be happy, the happier we are, the more the universe aligns with that, right? The energy that you live in is the energy you call in. Yeah. And I'm just sharing that is real for me. I know it's real for many of you probably. And I think that's part of what we're doing here today and in this new era. is letting go of this fear that we don't get to be happy, and saying, no, we do. The feminine gets to be happy. We get to trust. We get to trust that the universe has our backs, right? We get to trust in joy. We get to trust in love. And we get to create our reality. We have power, right? So that feels bam, like I'm gonna write a big old joy on here. Joy and trust, right? That the universe is good, right? That your back is held, even when it doesn't feel like it, right? I want to write truth for Mott, who came in, and focus for Artemis. Creativity, right? And creative power. I'm gonna write that, creative power. We have the power to create. Right? Success, right? What is success? Maybe success is trusting. Maybe success is trusting ourselves and trusting the highest good and trusting that the universe is always seeking balance. And right now, balance means the rise of the feminine. It means the rise of the matriarchy that is to come into balance. What else? What else are we feeling? Feeling love. And this is not a love candle, that would be pink, but 2 candles is enough. But I'm feeling love. And love is the highest vibration. And love is power, right? Okay, that's what we're writing. Love is power. And joy is power, love is power, right? Okay, bringing in my oil. If you have your own candles, moving on to your carving or your anointing, whatever feels good for you. What feels called in right now. All right. And then I'm going to get this. Lighting your candles. Taking a moment to sit with what you're calling. Yeah, this is feeling like a really big truth. Love is power. And it's a feminine power if I've ever heard of one, right? Matriarchy is love. To love our earth, to love each other, to love ourselves, right? Yeah. All right. We have manifested using our candle magic today, and thank you for bearing with me. This is my first video, and I have no idea how it's going to go, but I am trusting that this will reach exactly who it needs to reach. And if you were one of those people, thank you for being here. Again, the Goddess Coven would love to have you join. We have a ritual library of lots of rituals. We also have an embodiment practices library. And we have a blog called The Muse. On there is everything from our full moon and new moon astrology updates to blogs on healing the witch wound, and feminism, new age feminism. What is that? And anything else that feels called to come up. We had a Samhain blog. But just trying to go with the flow of what feels called in. And I also welcome your ideas and your feedback. If there's a goddess that you're really wanting to connect with, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If there is a ritual that is not in our library that you are curious about, let me know. And we will post it. Like, I want this to be a collaborative space. Another offering of the Goddess Coven is our shop. And our shop is a space for you to advertise your businesses to each other. And it's free. It's with your membership. I think it's in one of the blog posts, but I'm pretty sure I wrote that the reason women don't feel like we can support powerful women is because if we did, the whole patriarchy would fall. So let's support each other, right? Let's support each other in our journeys and in all of our callings. Okay. I am going to let these candles burn all the way down. I encourage you to decide if that is what feels right for you, or if it feels right for you to snuff them at a certain point in your ritual. For closing circle, I am not going to close circle right now. I'm going to close it when these candles are burnt down, and I will send that closing through the universe to you as well. For your own circles, though, if you opened a circle on your own, I invite you to close it when it feels right to you. And in closing, some important things to remember is to release any and all light beings that you called in, right? To release them with gratitude. Give some gratitudes out, right? It's always good to show appreciation, to show gratitude for those beings. Offerings, you can leave offerings out for as long as you wish. I prefer earth-based offerings, and what I do with them when they start to rot or if the flowers die is I will go return them to the earth from whence they came. You can do the same with many food offerings. Just be careful of the local animal life and whether or not what you are offering is safe for them to ingest and natural to the environment. And then I want to invite you to find a way of closing circle that just kind of ritualistically closes the space every time. My words are blessed be. You could use so motive be, right? But figuring out what feels right to you in your lineage, your ancestry, your inner knowing, right? And remembering that, like, yes, like honoring our ancestry in this lifetime is really important. But for those of us that have had past lives, it's possible that you feel connected to deities or practices that were your ancestry in another life. And so honoring that as well. If a practice feels gatekeeped, it's probably for a reason, right? And I want you to feel into where you need invitation to that practice from, or if maybe it's not the right one, right? But if you're feeling really called to a practice and you want to honor it and respect its ancestry and lineage, ask a guide. Ask one of your spirit guides or helpers for permission and support. Ask the earth. Ask the earth for permission and support. Ask your ancestors. And ask people of that lineage, right? If they have healers in their realm, connect with them. Send them a message. Let them know, hey, like, I'm interested in this practice. It's not mine. And yet I'm really called to it, and my guides are encouraging me to go for it. And just ask their advice and permission, right? Yeah, and take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves today, this weekend, through all of next week. Next week is a big week, I know. Yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of your bodies, take care of your womb space. Yeah. Okay. Sending you so much love and light. So much gratitude.